I really want to address the question of why we do the business. Every marketing, messaging, branding specialist always starts with what is your why? And it always felt a very forced question to me, to be honest, until I discovered human design, and not just discovered, a lot of us discover human design and we take it completely to a wrong direction in my lived experience and in my opinion of this, and I, as a first line person, I'm a 1-3 profile person. I'm just telling you what I see, right? The bottom line, the grasp, the essence is that we discover a lot of things and then we take it to a completely wrong direction in a way, away from its source. So with human design, this is a system about your own uniqueness, what makes you different. If you really think about it, human design is something that makes you you. And therefore, everything in your life, not just business. Business is only part of our lives. And in fact, for me, my business is a really big part of how I express myself, because what I get to do as a mentor, as a coach, I don't like calling myself a coach, although this is what happens with my clients. I had to so many times coach them through their blocks and I'm really good at it. But really here I am to inspire you, right? I am here to tell you to trust the process. I am here to tell you that stop going, being a go-getter. Be open to receive. But how can you be open to receive when you are constantly focused on the outside of you? And this is where my understanding of human design is, that it is all about you. And therefore, if you choose, because you don't have to, right? But if you choose to live your life in a human design experiment, and an experiment means there is no right or wrong. There's only your way, right? And you are here experimenting with following a strategy as an energy type, or following your authority, decision-making authority, sometimes well and sometimes not so well. This is why it's an experiment. There is no black and white. You cannot just get aligned with your energetics. It's just practically impossible. It's impossible for two reasons. Number one is that you're constantly affected by other people's auras, by transits. You're constantly affected by the world around you. You are not living in the complete isolation and vacuum from everything else, right? So the idea of a human design is you get this imprint the moment you're born, and 88 degrees before that as well, your design imprint, you get this imprint from the cosmos. But the cosmos doesn't stop, right? So you are constantly being imprinted again and again. That first one is very deep. That's where your definition is created. That's where your decision-making authority is defined. That's where you get this fixed broadcasting, what you bring to the table, so to speak. But it is all still about you, right? But every day you also get affected by the cosmos, affected by people around you. I live in the apartment block. Within 3 meters, my aura is like, let's say approximately 3 meters, right? There is somebody in the apartment just beside me who is affecting me right now energetically. And therefore, we cannot just follow human design, strategy, authority purely all the time. Simply, it's impossible, because we are constantly getting affected. And also we're human, right? And we have very busy minds. And it doesn't matter whether we have defined ajnas or open ajnas. We're always like, there is this chatter in our heads. There's always confusion. There's conditioning that, how things should be, that we should be like someone else. And in every area of our lives, every moment of our lives, we're dealing with this issue of comparing ourselves to someone else and being like someone else. I was talking with my daughter yesterday. My daughter suffers from anxiety. She's been diagnosed. She's on the autistic spectrum, which I think most of us are. I think neurotypical is rare, right? I definitely have a suspicion that I am myself, not so typical. And I love the term neurospicy. It's not a term, it's just a word I picked up from someone. And I love it because we all are like this. But we were talking about the norms, how, so many days. And now while I'm recording this, I am kind of in this eclipse season, between eclipses. So everything becomes even more amplified, even more heightened. My little doggo is coming here. So if you hear some barking, I apologize. If you have these kind of cognitions that you need, pure sounds, this might happen that my dog barks, and that's reality, and it's also everyday life, right? So We just deal with it. The same with like experimenting in our human design and making mistakes and not always being aligned to what I'm talking about. So I was talking to my daughter, we were talking about this whole idea that how is it to have a good day? Because we both had really bad sort of a good run of days where we didn't eat well. You know, we both live alone. It's a new thing in my life at the age of 47. So I'm really adjusting to actually living an independent life with some sort of form of consistent discipline, right? And then the thing that I was talking to her was something that came into my mind, and I really feel like this is the bottom line insult. This is subliminal. It's insulting to the rest of the world what I'm about to say, and it might be insulting to people who show up in the way that I'm going to mention now. So I apologize, and please don't be triggered and don't take it personally, but I believe that there are very rare people who are really naturally consistent in their discipline, and they do things by the book, what the rest of us is conditioned to think that this is how things should be. 5 a.m. club is one of those examples, right? The people, they have routines. For some people, routines really work. Sometimes it's in their design to have routines, and they feel aligned with this, and it's good. But I also really, truly believe that those are very rare people, really, really rare people. And I also believe that there's a lot of people who pretend that they're like this, and they on the surface they're really, really good. You know, they get up at 5 o'clock, they do not have coffee, you know, they do exercise, they do all these things, you know, they have their schedule. But what we don't know, we just see that. It's the same like social media. Yeah, we just see that. But what we don't know is what's going on behind the scenes. Are they happy? Are they truly aligned within, or are they projecting this picture of perfection while they're dealing with a lot of mental struggle like the rest of us? And I really think that everybody struggles in the world, right? So if you're in your visibility and your marketing, I'm going to just bring it back to this marketing story in your business and your why. So if you're struggling in your business to connect with your why, to enjoy posting on social media, to, you know, whatever you're struggling with, for a moment, for just one moment, assume that this is normal. Assume that everything you see is people projecting these positive ideas about how things should be. But actually what we're doing with these shoulds is we're homogenizing the world. I can't believe I couldn't pronounce this word. Homogenizing the world, right? We're making everybody be like everybody else. And this is what goes against the human design system idea that you're unique, that there is no way you should be showing up, but in the world, if for yourself, but your way. And the idea here is that your why in business and life and everywhere, for absolutely everyone in the world on this planet, I believe that your why is not about other people, and your why is about you. And I live this and experience this every day. And yes, you can say to me, Juliette, you're the most introspective of all the profiles, right? 1, 3, both lines are in the lower triagram. You're focused within, you're processing it, sharing it with us. So maybe you see the world differently than somebody who is like a 4, 6, for example, you know, kind of like outwardly looking at their network. But that's not true, because the 4th line is introspective. They're here to understand their role in relation to the other, right? So they're only peeping on the other side. They're not here for the other side. They're here for themselves. 6th line are here to experience perfection within themselves, to evaluate what's trustworthy. It's again all about themselves, even though they're the top of this triagram, right? You would think that they would be about the other people. Line 5. Those are the people who are here to condition, to tell others what to do, to see the mess and provide us with practical solutions. But at the end of the day, it is not about other people, even when you are a line 5 person. You are living in the projections. You will be always intrinsically connected to the projections of other people, but you're not here for other people. You're still here for yourself, to see that mess, to see the solution, to offer it into the world, and then step back. Step the fuck back. It's not your role to fix the world. Everyone here in this world is here to connect with themselves and their uniqueness and discover what is it in it. For them, this is a unique and in a way lonely existence in this world. We are surrounded by people, but it is still all about us. This year I lost my husband, who I considered for 20 years to be my other half. Yeah, my life still goes on. His life is ended. My life still goes on. His life was about him. My life is about me. We're born alone, we die alone. And there is wisdom that is beautiful in that statement. It's not morbid at all. And this aloneness is not a bad thing at all, but it is the thing about discovering and experimenting with this world and this experience in this life form as a light being. I'm gonna go there, guys. I'm gonna go there as a light being, as a soul within this human body in this one lifetime out of many that I believe in. And therefore, when somebody says to you, what's your business? Why? Why are you doing this business? Well, to start with, let's just also niche down, right? I know my audience are experts, coaches, a lot of coaches, a tough audience to crack, right? Tough audience. A lot of people look down on the coaching industry, a lot of people in the coaching industry, because there's no barrier to entry, right? Are confused and delusional. They think this is what's going to fix them or their lives or their financial status. And they are confused. They don't really have much to give to others because they're making it about something else, like some sort of like oh, this is easier than this, right? And it's true. It's true. So it's a tough niche and a tough audience. But what happens here, the barrier to entry is non-existence. Anyone can say, I'm a coach and start trying, right? Where you get really tested is the longevity of it, if it's going to work, if it's going to actually establish itself as a business and not just helping others. That's a big thing. If you want to have a business, you have to look at the whole thing as a business. And the business and coaching are two separate dimensions. Like they're two completely separate dimensions. And therefore, it's very difficult to combine them. Very difficult to combine. So, what's your why in creating an online business? It can't be about helping others. It can't be about helping others. It's not sustainable to put your why about the others. And the only way you can show up in your business and you can find the motivation and you can actually find something really potent to say that other people need to hear through your content so they can come and, get more access to you as a coach and get more support from you so you can facilitate their transformations, right? It's only when you focus within. So your why is always about you, no matter what it is at the surface level. It could be more money. It could be. I have been a provider in my family for now over like 13th year, the sole provider. It just so happened. My husband was extremely talented music producer, but the world economic crisis collapsed the music industry in Ireland and he got out of job. He was overqualified to get a regular job. That can happen, guys. And I had to step up. And so making money for me is a big, big motivator. It's not about, I don't cheat. I don't manipulate. I genuinely help my clients. I coach them through their blogs. I help them not to focus on the shiny covers of some, bullshit marketing strategies that are plenty, and focus within and have a long-term goal, because there is no way that you can build anything successful and sustainable if you're focusing on, oh, I have a launch in 2 months, what shall I post now? You cannot. You have to have a long-term goal. Things are working in my business because in 2018, now it's 2023, in 2018, I started focusing on the long-term goal of building myself as an authority in my niche. And I have pivoted since then. So in my current niche, I'm about 2 years and I'm already becoming a name because I'm expressing myself correctly. I'm expressing myself authentically. I'm expressing what I see. I lean into my profile for the brand voice, but it's so easy because this is the most natural thing for me, right? And I'm doing things with the long-term plan in mind. I have a completely open will center. I am not here to set targets. I'm not here to deliver. You're not here to commit. I'm here to open to receive. But how can I be available to open to receive? I have to show up. So my why in my business, right? While it might be materially kind of driven, and I'm a line one, for me, security, safety, stability, foundation, that's your financial security, right? It's really important. As well as the other value that is driving me is flexibility. And it's flexibility from anything and everything in this world. You know, I want to work less. I want to have more free time, I should say. And there is the problem that lies with it, because when I have a lot of free time, which I do, I start sabotaging myself and start making a lot of, silly things. So I actually need my business so I can fill my free time with creating, expressing myself, and loving what I do. Like, I love recording this video for you. I love it. I feel so on purpose right now, sharing this, because I know it's going to help the right people, will hear the right things when I speak. And it makes me feel so fulfilled. So my why is about fulfillment. My why is about freedom, flexibility, security, but it's about me. It's not about me helping others, because the moment I start thinking about the others, although I do help them, it's natural. It's just part of this whole thing, part of me showing up. Like, I'm a projector, right? And this is very projector-like analogy. However, it's really important to think about it not from maybe a coach point of view. If you're a coach, because your business is based around you and what you do and how you help others and what you see and how you can be a role model or how you can condition others and tell them what to do, depending on who you are. But as a coach, you are a lighthouse. And the lighthouse stands there on this rock. Nothing moves except for this light that is just focused on something. And sometimes that light is not pointing at the sea. Remember that. Yeah, it's on the rock, but there is land behind it. And the light goes back there as well. The boats, those confused boats that need help, they don't know where the safe passage to the shore is. They're the ones looking out for the light. Whenever the light turns to them, right? That's when they see it. When we're creating content, like I just mentioned, I know there will be for right person something I needed to say or they needed to hear today in this video, right? I am the lighthouse. That's my light. That's my beam that you just saw and you see. Oh, yes, that's what I've been doing wrong. I've been thinking about, oh, where are my clients? How can I get them? It's all this like giving your power away. Am I good enough for them? Am I doing what I should be doing? Because this person is very successful and I'm doing what they're doing and it's not working. And it's like your focus is out there. Your focus needs to be on you. That's your light is beaming. not the light needs to be on. That's, as a lighthouse, your goal is to maintain your light, that it's on, and not trying to get the boats. Lighthouses don't go swim into the sea and grab the boats and bring them to the shore. And this is what this why is. The why is about how can you maintain that light? How can you bring the power back to you? How can you show up? But it's not about them at this moment when you're creating your content, when you're creating this visibility, but it is about you. It is about you being on purpose. It is about you being of service, but not fixing anyone, not grabbing onto them, right? Offering solutions, offering you insights, offering things like stories and your discoveries of what doesn't work. Let's say if you're a third line, right? Offering support and network to your network and influence if you're fourth line, and not worrying about whether they like you or not. It's not about that for you. Again, your focus needs to be on you. Because when you are within your whole and you're feeling on purpose and you're feeling like you're in your mission, your light is on. And that is your why in your business. It's because you want your light to be on and you want it to be on all the time. And here's another thing I want to mention before I leave you today, because I mentioned that sometimes the light is not looking at the sea. So even though you're maybe a coach who wants to get more clients, we need that, right? To survive, to pay the bills, to put the food on the table. I am the first person to say that because, I rely my life on this business to work. And it's not about being like traditional business. It's like a business of showing up. It's a business of shining that light. And sometimes my light goes away from the business. So my goal on those times is to keep my light up anyway, to whatever I'm focusing on. It could be my personal life, right? It could be my love life. I'm a single person again. It could be my studying something, just completely irrelevant to my business. But as long as I have this light on in any areas of my life, what I noticed is that light, somehow that beam is still visible to those boats. It might not be beaming at them, but it's kind of like they still see it. They still see it. So you don't need to worry about going and getting them, but you need to focus on keeping your lights up. And the only way you can do it is by focusing within. Sometimes it's quite difficult to figure out how to keep your light on, what is more natural to you, because we just have too many shoots, and the traditional marketing, oh my God, it's just destroying. For coaching industry, definitely, it's destroying the way we should be thinking and showing up, and it's applying other industries' processes into our process, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And so if you want to discover what is more natural to you, where you can lean into, that is natural to you, no matter what traditional marketing says, I'm talking about the vision. I'm talking about the sense. I'm talking about trusting that everything you do right now is building something bigger. Yeah. And one of the ways to do it is you can order my Marketing Blueprint by Design report, where we can take the top level of your human design and see what's more natural to you. So you can say, okay, permission to be me. I'm going to, for example, I'm a 1-3 person. Yeah. I'm going to talk about myself. I'm going to talk about my experiences. I'm going to talk about my visions. I'm going to talk about what I see. And you know what? You're going to share these things with so much ease and confidence, and, speaking, like, your messaging will become so much more compelling because it's natural to you, and you will be backed up by knowing that this is what you're here to do, to share in this specific way. That's how you keep your light on. So if you want to order it, the link is in the description to this video, and hopefully I will see you on the Zoom call that I highly recommend to get an option with the Zoom call, because, reading information is just information. Let's integrate it. Let's dig deeper. Let's Juliette's third eye see inside you, and we can pull something out, something that is transformational, right? Something that transcends everything you know, because it brings you back to the source, which is you. I'll see you inside the blueprint.